C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Hi, I'm Dennis
C,
Parnell,
B,
and I would like to
A,
introduce you
G,
to a method of
F,
sight singing
E,
for
D,
those of you who have trouble
C.
learning to sight sing or to sight read music. This is a new system based on the letters of the alphabet that you pretty well know. Most of our notes that we use in Western music are labeled as letters. So if we go to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. We have 8 notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and that is an octave. 8 notes comprising a series of notes in order, making up what we call a scale. This note vibrates at 440 times per second. An octave away, underneath it, would vibrate half as fast. So this A would be 220 cycles per second. That's 220 times vibrating per second. Above this A, an octave higher, would be A880 and 1660. So this A, 220, 110, 55. Octaves. We divide most of our Western music into scales called diatonic scales. A simple way to remember that is that in Greek, dia has 2 meanings. It's a little confusing. It means either through or to. And in this case, if you remember 2 tonics, diatonic, you have essentially our diatonic system of major scales and minor scales. The minor scale is the one that starts on A, and it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and back down again. A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Pretty simple, huh? Our major scale starts in C. This is the note C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now, my sight singing system does something interesting. It takes the sound of the note and it encourages you to learn the 7 letters that you need. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts all over again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Again. So we only have 7 letters to deal with. That's pretty easy to remember. However, in music we have things called sharps and flats. And the sharps are 1/2 step away from the note underneath it. Now, in our natural scale of A minor, we have B and C and E and F. If you look at a piano keyboard, neither of those 2 moves from one note to another has a note in between. So one thing you have to remember when you're doing music is that you have to remember, if you're reading music, you have to remember where the half steps are. So in this case, naturally, on all the white keys on the piano, always the half steps are between B and C and E and F. If you remember that, you'll go a long way into being able to read music with no confusion. The confusion begins when we add key signatures, when we want to play when we want to play. Oh, we don't like it in that key. So we want to move it to this key. Transposing means in our Western system that we can play the same music in any key, but you have to know what the keys are. So my sight singing system helps you to begin to learn what the keys are and what the key signatures are. A key signature is a method of telling you how many sharps or flats there are in a key. For instance, in order to make a major scale, we have to have this series: whole step, half step. Pretty easy to remember there. That's only 4 notes. Famous TV theme song from the Addams Family. We have played 4 notes in a row, part of a scale, and we call that part a tetrachord. You should know the sound of at least 4 tetrachords. From those 4 tetrachords, you can build any scale. For instance, here's a tetrachord that has a Middle Eastern sound to it. There's a song that you know probably that goes, Hava Nagila, a famous Israeli song, used again. That tetrachord is used in some of our minor scales or in its own scale. So again, we have 1 tetrachord sounding like the Addams Family, and that would be C, D, E, F. Now, if you take 1 whole step above that and play another tetrachord, G, A, B, C, you have a major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, simple as that, right? Now, the minor tetrachord, if you remember that our minor scale starts on A, we have A, B, C, D. That's the minor tetrachord. All right, so there's the minor tetrachord. Anything that sounds like that. See, the half step. A lot of songs in minor are. Again, minor, major. Now, let's play, starting on C, let's play the minor tetrachord. Aha! What have we done? We've now played C, D, E flat, F. Because in the minor tetrachord, the half step doesn't come between 3 and 4 like it does in the major. Remember that the major tetrachord has a half step between 3 and 4, right? So if you pile another one on top of that, you get that same resolution of whole step, half step. But minor is different. Minor has the half step in between 2 and 3. So we have C, D, E flat, F. Okay? Now, I've come up with a system that keeps the sound of the letters always working. It's completely 100% consistent. That's why it's called a seesaw so. And here's how it works. Anything that sounds like ah is a sharp note. That means it's a half step higher than the note underneath it. Okay? So if this letter is C, what is this? That's C sharp. So that you have a single syllable to sing all the time, we've made that into saw. So C, saw, right? So this then would be D, daw. Then E. Now, instead of fa here, it can be fa. That would be E sharp. But E sharp is an unusual note. So normally where you have these half steps, remember where they are, between B and C and E and F. E, F. And then we get to F, we go F, fa. So every sharp note sounds like ah. What about the flat notes? Okay, how about those? Here's C. The flat notes sound like so. C, so. Now, again, here's a confusing one. This could be so, which would be C flat. But really, this is C to B. Remember, because between B and C is a half step. So normally you would find this going from C to B. But what about B flat? B, bow. How about A flat? A, O. How about G? G, Joe. Pretty easy, huh? Those are just the sharps and the flats. We'll stop there so you can practice doing some scale passages using some sharps and flats. Okay? In